Hi, it's April 30th, and I'm going to take you on a little tour of my garden at the beginning of the growing season so that when I film it later on, you'll be able to compare the plants. Here is a begonia that Mom gave me clippings from, doing quite nicely, and 3 different kinds of ivy, also from clippings from Mom. At least 2 of them were. And we will now go outside onto the balcony. And there is the peace lily that Peter's mom gave me for my birthday a couple years ago. And it just finished, well, I guess it's in the last stages of its most current blooming cycle. There were about maybe 15 of those flowers on a couple weeks ago. Here is a pot of Schefflera cuttings from the bonsai tree at Mom's house that Larry gave her. Mom and I both are curious as to how this plant is going to propagate itself, because these little umbrella-like structures don't appear to have any place for additional plant to come out of. So it will be really interesting to see if anything at all happens to the Schefflera. Here is a rather pathetic looking window box that I expect, I hope anyway, will be glorious later on in the season. You can see there in the corner is a morning glory, and unfortunately, if you look at the morning glory in the other corner, it is probably not going to make it. So I am soaking some more seeds right now, and we'll see if they grow. The other plants in this window box are a trailing version of nasturtium, so I'm really excited. That's a new plant for me this year. Down here is a combination. That big tropical looking thing in the middle is a Gerber daisy that Dad gave Mom for Valentine's this year, and it had a lot of leaves with glitter on it before I chopped them off. And I'm waiting to see if the plant grows another flower this season, or several, hopefully. Next to it is a little baby spider plant that came off of a big mama spider plant that one of my students, Lisa, gave me before she moved to Thailand. All those little teeny things in there are some sort of ground cover. Might be alyssum. And there's something else in there, like maybe dianthus. I could have the names wrong, but we'll check in later in the season when they're blooming. We're coming to the herb part of my garden now. This is basil and flat-leaf parsley. Down here is a dwarf variety of basil, which I potted in this dwarf variety of pot. I thought that was a cute little analogy there. Here are 2 different kinds of lavender that I got in Poughkeepsie yesterday. One of them has purple flowers, and one of them, I guess I should say, will have white. And if you do this and smell your fingers, it smells really great already. This is coriander, which I grew from coriander seed from my spice cabinet. And I've tried this a couple of years running now, and it never seems to do it much, except die. So I'm very hopeful that this is the year for the coriander crop. Here we have a rhododendron, and at its base are some weeds from Jim's house in Poughkeepsie. And these weeds apparently produce, you can see maybe there's a tiny little yellow flower there. Anyway, when I picked them, there were a lot of beautiful little yellow flowers, and they come up early in the spring, and then the whole plant dies down. So I planted them under the rhododendron bush so that I'll get some blooms next year, early on in the season, and then the rhododendron, which will come out later. And Jim's boyfriend Ralph, who is a very knowledgeable gardener, told me that these plants should overwinter successfully, as will this dwarf spruce, which I also think will look cute out on the balcony in the winter time. Here is a mix pot with pansies. There's a beautiful yellow one just coming up, and purple ones all over the place. There are also dark red ones and some mystery ones that have yet to bloom. And in among everything I put some Wandering Jew, some lipstick plant, again that's from Mom, and also from Mom is this little bit of ivy. So I'm hoping that this will be just a big mound of beauty and flowers later this season. Here's my bamboo plant that I bought when I was a brand new Alexander teacher to bring good luck to my studio, and it's still alive, so I guess I have good luck. But it was looking a little spindly, so I cut it back, and hoping being outside will make it happy. These are 4 o'clocks and something called Nicotiana, which are supposed to be blooming later on in the season. We'll come visit them again. This is grass and some weeds. So I got the seed pods from Poughkeepsie. In the middle of everything is a lilac twig from Jim's yard, a couple of little maple tree seedlings from Jim's yard, and all this little other stuff is called flax blue. So that's quite a mixed bag there. This is another weed garden. Most of the weeds in this garden came from from Urbana, Illinois. And I was out there a couple summers ago and got those. Here's my white begonia, which is doing well. My jasmine in its beautiful big new pot with some little teeny, I can't even see them. I planted some other plants in there, but I think I covered them with soil. There's a clematis that's going to climb up that trellis, petunias, marigolds, and zinnias. And that is it for April 30th. And we'll come back later in the season and see what happened to all these plants.